Hey, what's going on?
I can't take it no more.
Well, I didn't have anything to do with it. Listen, I just work here.
It's good enough for me.
Sorry. I know it evokes other responses in other people, but for me it's just laughter. It's a crazy dude that lives in a shed next to my friend's house on the lake, and we don't know he's there. And he starts to kill all of us weekenders, one by one. There's no moral story. There's no more than that. What more do you need? Actually, I was in college at Oklahoma State University studying theater, and Angela Darter, who plays one of the girls in the movie, that was her parents' cabin on the lake. She called me, because she knew I was an actor, because we went to high school together. She called me and said that they needed an actress for this role. So I had to make a choice between Streetcar Named Desire at the OSU Theater or Blood Lake. And I thought, well, 2 weeks at a cabin on the lake, I really want to do this because I've done a couple other horror films. This could be good, you know? So I made the choice. I think it was the right choice.
Alright, okay, it's just dumb.
It's no big deal, man.
What are you talking about? It's no big deal. Would you hang on? 2 people were killed in there. Would you shut up?
The important thing to remember, and the most fun thing about Blood Lake, for being someone that was in it, was living for 2 weeks together at the lake house. We had the girls in one room, guys in another room. It was great. It was more communal. It was a lot of fun. I think that sort of fed into the feel for the characters, staying there for the weekend. That's another reason I did it, because I thought it would be cool to live and be on the set. I thought it looked cute. I was like, yeah, okay, there's no nudity, I'll do it.
Hey, Tony, be sure you wipe the seat off before you sit down and take that piss.
You said piss, not me.
I doubt it. Kim will vouch for me.
Right.
You wish, little Brian. Ooh. And I think her name was Karen, and she was the girlfriend of one of the guys. A little more boisterous than some of the other characters that I'd played, and she was a little loudmouth. She was a partier. I purposefully made the choice, because of course I did my own hair and makeup on this one, and clothing. I made her just a little bit more loose. I wanted her to have, kind of that, that party vibe.
Hand me the joint, man.
Smoked a lot of fake weed. I smoked a lot of oregano. I don't know why we didn't just get high. It would have been so much easier. Maybe the film would have turned out better if the beer and the oregano had been real.
Oh, God. Don't breathe on me. That's
Not
just
bad.
gross.
Hi, Kim.
It's so close.
But we played quarters because I don't know if you played quarters growing up, but in Oklahoma that was the big game, man. It was quarters. I think they play beer pong now or whatever. But yeah, we played quarters and we partied a lot. We were so cool, Let's see what we got. We all died. Let's see what you got.
Jesus Christ, you can't get any privacy around here.
Looks like we're not going to get to do anything tonight.
Bullshit.
What do you have in mind? What? Where are you going to go?
Well, out here. Come on.
And then my boyfriend and I go off into the night, and I've never heard from him again except for one more scream. It was fun screaming because it carried, it echoed, because we're on the lake, and as you know, different from the ocean, the lake echoes. And I remember giving it a good scream, and I think some of the neighbors got a little concerned because we did it 2 or 3 times. That was fun. That was really the only time I ever got to scream in a movie, so that was cool. That's kind of cool because, again, it was a lovely fall Oklahoma night. It wasn't hot or anything, and we were in the boat on the dock. Of course, my boyfriend and I were making out in the movie. Anyway, really, really nice guy. I had a boyfriend, he had a girlfriend, so we were trying to be as cool as possible. But he was really professional, and he wasn't an actor. But I think he was a little uncomfortable. I tried to make him feel, relaxed. But we're on the boat, and we're making out, and it's very dark. I'm sure, and he probably didn't have any lights, so it's probably just pitch dark. And he dies, and the blood hits me in the face, and then I think I get it. Strangled. I remember teaching them how to make blood, because I'd learned it at studying theater at OSU. I knew how to make really good blood. And plus, being on all the other films, on all the other 2 other horror films, I was able to kind of share with them. Here's the best blood. You're not making it thick enough. you know, add some more Hershey syrup, add some more K-Row, add some more food coloring. So they had really good blood. I was always game, you know, for anything. So long as it was tasteful, you know, they were like, are you uncomfortable? You know, is it okay if we get blood in your eye? I'm like, sure, go ahead, you know, whatever you need to do to get the shot. This is awesome. My cousin's cousin was in Voyager, the band that did the soundtrack. Hot hard rock. In Oklahoma, and they did the soundtrack. I didn't know until after the film was finished. And then we can't talk about Blood Lake without talking about the water skiing. And from watching the movie, you'd never guess that I skied every summer, because I look back on that movie and I'm just so awkward. My legs are so far apart and everything. And of course, Angela Darter. Oh my god, she was an awesome skier. I knew she was an awesome skier before we ever made the film, because I'd watched her. She and I, we'd skied together before. She slalomed. She was just so graceful and so, it was awesome. But yeah, I never quite got, I always had, it's like I always stayed in the position in which I learned. I was just like always squatted because I was so afraid I was going to get thrown off. That was fun, but a funny story about that is that I remember them rigging the camera and the tripod to the back of the boat, and I don't know, they hadn't studied physics or what, but you know, inertia took over and the camera just, you know, go forward, the camera, the duct tape didn't hold it, so the camera starts to go forward, and I remember Tim or Doug or someone grabbed that thing, because if that had fallen into the water, that would have been it. They didn't, I mean, they couldn't afford to shoot with anything else, you know, so that was fun.
Hey Mike, you gonna be at Butthole this weekend, or are you gonna let me drink?
Why is that character so famous now, Little Tony?
Why, yeah, man, I love it. You don't even think about it, I'll kill you.
I won't. I got my booze, sex partners, I'm fine.
Little Tony, he was funny. He was just funny, man.
Oh my god, don't touch it, Tony! No, Tony, don't!
It was the opposite of professional, except for Tim Boggs. Tim Boggs was a professional, and he gave me great direction. He told me from the beginning. I remember this vividly. He told me, he said, "What I need from you is for you to create a character." You know, and I remember at the end of the shoot, he said, "All I did was ask you to create a character. You did that. I appreciate it." But he gave us great direction. But again, he also was very good at letting the actors be organic and improvise. I'm not an advocate of improvising, because I say if the script is good, there's a reason why it's good, and you should stick with it. But in a situation like this, I mean, we had young tweenies there that had never done anything that you weren't going to get the actual script, and when they did quote the script, it was very stiff.
So, Susan, were you safe last night? Was Tony a good boy?
Oh yeah, Tony's harmless. He's all words and no action.
Shit, you want to say action? You ready to go to bed yet?
Yeah, but I kind of got a headache.
I mean, you're going to say, well, it came off as stiff anyway. But and I'm saying all these things, assuming that everyone watching this has watched Blood Lake, and if you haven't, you should. Because that's why I can't stop laughing, because I'm just remembering how ridiculous it all was. Tim was a great director. Great director. Other than that, it was completely unprofessional and fun. You know, I think this is the first thing, maybe the first and only thing that Doug Barry ever produced. And Tim knew what he was doing, though. Tim kept us on track. And he knew what shots he needed. And I'm sure this is one of the first things that Tim did, you know, even though now I know he's gone on, has been successful in the industry. I'm really, really happy that he's successful. He was a great guy. He had a great aura about him, great personality. Because I'm sure that it was pretty stressful having us all there in that house, you know, working with a first-time producer who really would rather have been an actor than a producer. I'm sure that it was stressful for Tim. I'm sure that it was. Because at the end of the day, it had to turn out okay. How they're going to blame the director, you know? And for what it was, it did turn out okay. It did its job, you know? I just remember not getting paid for that one. And I didn't appreciate it, because we did spend 2 weeks at the lake house. And gosh, no, I thought everybody paid up to that point, because, you know, like I said, United Entertainment and Chris and Linda Lewis had been very good to me. You know, timely, and everything was done the way it was supposed to be done. you know, he sort of whispered in our ear how much, you know, he would give us, and I remember thinking, gosh, that's completely and totally fair. I never had a contract, a small little contract, you know, over minimum, but never saw it done. I'm sure the statute of limitations is up. But I'm not going to hold it against him, because I know how hard it is. I didn't see it for a long time, and when Doug did send me a copy, for some reason, either the TV that I was watching it on or something, I just couldn't make it out. So it was several years before I saw it. I think I saw the artwork and everything for the box before I saw the film. I can't remember when I saw it. I probably watched it and tried to forget about it. Because at the time, when it's done, oh, jeez, I should have done Streetcar Named Desire.
We can't do anything about it, but it's just so stupid for them to leave after everything that's been happening.
Brian does that shit every once in a while. He does these weird things like that. I just don't understand him sometimes.
I think it's hysterical, and I think that it is absolutely wild that it has become known for being one of the best of the worst horror films ever made. I'm not going to argue with critics over Blood Lake, please. They're right. I mean, what? It's okay. I love it.
Blood Lake was a story of basically 6 teenagers who go out to the lake one summer for a weekend of partying and skiing, and they're staying at one of the girlfriend's parents' lake house. And as the story, goes, there's a guy stalking or a killer loose and starts kind of knocking them off. There is a fondness for Blood Lake, but I'm not as emotionally attached to it like it's hurting my feelings when someone criticizes it, because I understand, that technically it's not very well done, and the acting is poor, and direction and editing, all of that. But there's always one question I'm wanting to ask them, is what have they done with their dream?